Waterfalls, always a happy song to kick off.
You ever have one of those things where like you hear a certain song like 5 times in a week and you haven't heard it forever? That song's been haunting me.
Yeah, it's been haunting me more because of the whole tattoo cat thing that I've talked about a million times, where I found out my tattoo is a horrible tattoo in Asian letters and it means waterfalls, and then I found out my cat in Japanese means waterfalls. Didn't know either of these things, so now I'm chasing waterfalls. It's awful.
Your girlfriend once also bought you adult diapers, which could mean waterfalls.
Yeah, I did. I waterfalled in Target. Guys, thank you for coming. This has been one of the hardest shows to book this week. Teeb, I think, around 3:30 p.m. we had...
No, it was 12:30 because I was having lunch with Ari.
Okay.
We'll talk about that, but everybody that we had canceled. And then so Redban and I are going back and forth, what about this person? Okay, you hit up these 5, I'll hit up these 5. And we probably hit up about 26 people around.
The fucking flu. Have you guys had this flu yet? Have you...
Right here.
Jesus, you had it? I've had it. I've got rid of the flu already twice, maybe 3 times this year, and I've got it
This was
back.
the bad one, though, because everybody had it for like 3 weeks. Tripoli had it. You had it for a long time.
And there's 2 versions. There's the shit yourself puke one.
And then there's the one, bleed while you come one. That's
Right.
the worst part. That's the one I have right now.
I just had the fart, whoops, I shit one.
Yeah. You don't want the cum blood one. Trust me, bro.
I did something horrible, and hold on, I gotta make sure this person's not. I did something horrible,
Stay in
guys.
the room.
Have you guys done, like, when you take a horrible shit, like I had a horrible shit.
All right, guys, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for coming out tonight.
You know, like, just one of those ones that's really embarrassing, and there's like a lot of different stacks.
It's only embarrassing if other people find out about it. Otherwise, it's just a secret you're taking to the grave, bro.
Well, you know, like where you stop and then you put toilet paper on it, and then you're like, wait, I think I have a little more, and then you're kind of like making like a hamburger of. Well, I did that before I took a shower, and I didn't want to flush the shower because I was about to get in it. And it was
Who flushes the shower, by the way?
I mean, flush the toilet.
What is the problem right there? You're flushing the shower, you're showering in the toilet, and you're shitting in the shower.
So I poop in my bathtub.
It is embarrassing now that you mention it.
So then you put the lid down because you're like, that's just so disturbing, I don't want to see it until after. And you forget to flush the shower, and then later you and this date that you went on come back to your house, and she goes, I need to go to the bathroom, and she goes in there and shuts the door, and then it all comes back to you that you never flushed the toilet after the shower.
No, that only happens to you, bro. No, you tell the most unrelatable stories. You ever fuck 4 girls at one time, and then the least attractive one of them is like, let's hang out more, and you're like...
You know, like when you touch a puppy and you touch its paw and it like that. That's the voice that she made when she went into the bathroom. Because I went no, and you hear.
You should do what Tripoli does, which is like, oh, Teeb was over here earlier. He blames everything on me every single time he ever has anything. Dude, if anybody calls you, I was with you till 7 in the morning. I'm like, what? You know, every person he's ever dated has hated me.
Yeah, so you would have brought it up. So I decided not to ignore it. It never happened. We'll never talk about it. But in the back of her head, she's thinking about it.
Dude, have you ever like hooked up with a girl and you're like, man, I went down on her and it was not a good situation. You remember that about her forever.
Oh, no.
And she knows that you're going down on a not good situation. She just rolls the dice and is like, all right, that's on you though. That's how you were when she was walking in the bathroom. You're like, all right, enter. You know, buyer beware.
So if you guys haven't been to the Deathsquad Secret Show, we always have a guest artist. Every week we have an artist that draws his version of what's going on. Sometimes it's cartoony, sometimes it's like, what the fuck is going on? Sometimes
it's like Dana DeArmond, it looks like a blind baby.
Yeah, it looks like a baby.
Yeah, she did it one week.
This week we have the proud owner of I had to get rid of my cat. I don't know if you guys ever knew this. I had a cat that went crazy and just started tearing up my whole entire place. So this poor couple here adopted my cat, and it's now one of their favorite things in the whole entire world. Guys, this is Jayson Bogart and his wife. How you guys doing today?
What's up, Ryan?
And I've known these guys for a while. They're also from Ohio, and so that's pretty sweet that they're from here. Now, you have a hat that has light bulbs on it, so you can actually draw and see what you're doing. I'm thinking
B. Lunker's hat.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is perfect masturbation hat, but there's a nightstand next to it to be perfect, so you can look at your dick when you masturbate, like I like to do. Do you guys look at your dick when you masturbate, or do you just kind of look away?
No, I definitely look at my dick.
Oh,
A
really?
lot of people look at my dick while I'm masturbating. That's a group therapy thing I do.
So what we'll do is after the end of the show, we're all going to sign it, and then I'm going to throw it on eBay, and whatever proceeds it gets from eBay goes right to Jayson.
It all goes to the artist.
Little starving
And
artist.
by the way, little side note, the Bogart family over here, the last people you would want to share a joint with.
Really?
I mean, they're very generous with their weed, but just by their namesake, they're like, oh, you're smoking with the Bogarters again. Good luck getting stoned on that thing.
That flew right over my head. Jesus.
They usually do, buddy. Let me put it in terms you understand. Don't ever shit in the shower with the Bogart family because...
Well, let's bring up our guests. We have a great crowd of people here today that actually accepted our invitation at 6:30 p.m. You want to announce it, Jay?
What? Yeah, one of these people actually decided that they would go. Like, I hit her up at like, I don't even know, 7:15, and she's like, I'm sleeping out front. I would love to do it. I was waiting for you to ask. Literally, one of my favorite comics here. And every time she's on stage, no matter if it's the shittiest 8 o'clock spot or the shittiest 1:45 spot, because those are the only spots she gets, I stand by and watch because she makes me laugh so fucking hard. She's one of the funniest comics that there is anywhere, especially at the comic store. Oh, dear Christ. This is not her.
Damn, Ross's ghost!
As Boon Shakalaka walks in the room looking like he just got electrocuted. So, I digress.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eleanor Kerrigan, everybody. I love you so much. The last person you ever would want to heckle.
Let's bring everyone up. James, what are you doing? You're pausing too much.
From San Diego. He left a He was gambling today, and I'll let him tell the story. But he was winning in a poker game in San Diego.
Really?
And you hit him up to come here, and he's like, I'm out.
Oh, wow.
And left right from a poker table, came straight here. Billy Bonnell, everybody.
Billy Bonnell.
Very funny comic, wherever he is.
There, coming up from behind, like he always does.
And this guy and I, he's on this podcast almost every time because inevitably somebody cancels and he lives next door and he's stoned and he's like, fuck it, why not? But he and I probably spent a lot of time on the toilet today because we ate 17 different kinds of meats in about 2 hours. And he texted me an hour ago, that lunch today wrecked me. And I can relate to it, we'll talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my best friends, Shaffir. Always available. He does 4 podcasts a day.
I think I saw Bobby Lee just walk by. Why isn't he up here? Bobby, you around?
He's one of the 40 people. He's one of the 40 people we texted today to come do the show, and he never texted me back, which is textbook Bobby Lee.
Can I just say that I did not shit today?
You did?
No, I don't process it that way.
How do you process it? Like,
Which to wear is a diaper?
Inwards. And it comes out
What does
of
that
my
mean? It comes out of your top of your hair? What does the inwards mean?
Just do it with my brain, man. That's how it happens. Let's bring up this next comic because I want this interesting story about this next comic and the rest of our panel. So go ahead.
Who is the next comic?
Is there another one?
No.
Oh, what about Bobby Lee?
No, you said he couldn't do it, and then he was standing in the room 30 seconds ago. He never texted me back, which is, if anybody knows Bobby Lee, he's notorious for not texting back. Yeah, the sales.
Whitney Houston is talking.
The ghost of Whitney Houston on crack is talking to us.
You look great.
He always looks great. Yeah, you're matching.
Yeah.
But he never texted back, and then we ran into him here right before the show. I go, hey, did you get my text? Nope. And I go, is this still your number? And he goes, yeah, that's my number. Let me look at my phone. And he looks at his phone. Oh, yeah, I did get your text. No, I can't do it. It was 5 minutes before the show started.
6 feet from the front door.
6 feet from the front door, and he was just in here.
He was with girls, though.
Well, of course he was.
Also, I think part of it might have to do with that he and Eleanor Kerrigan are still bitter enemies.
Is that true?
No, that's not true. I don't know him.
Ari, tell the story.
It is true.
Ari, unfold it.
Ari,
I was hoping that was her last guess
rat
because she was like,
fucking
please,
Jew.
Bobby,
You know that?
And that's why when this guy sat down, she goes, come here, sit down next to me. Because she wanted to make sure if he wasn't the
Listen,
fourth
I
one.
like
really.
Billy. I don't fucking know.
When I noticed it
Looking
overboard, she was
forward
like,
to
come
meeting
sit here.
him. I really don't care about him one way or the other, to be honest. I'm not, there's no hatred, there's no thing. Not you, Billy.
Why are you mad?
I'm not. I really don't even think about it until Ari brought it up right now.
No, that's not true. Even before that, you thought about it because otherwise I wouldn't have thought about it except for you in the back going, oh, it's Bobby Lee on this fucking podcast?
Did you say that?
What I said,
Ari, did you say that?
If we're going to be
Let her-
honest,
let her clarify.
I said, are you
Because maybe she has
setting
some
me
cough
up?
drops. Oh,
Are you setting me up?
Yeah.
Because you're kind of a jerk off like that, and everyone knows that.
Yes.
She actually.
That's his favorite
You
thing.
went to me and said
Yeah.
the same thing. Eleanor came up to me and goes,
See?
"Wait, you're setting me up, aren't you? It's a setup." Now, so you did the same thing.
Unresolved.
What is it though? Let's lay it out. Let's lay it out right now on the internet.
You wouldn't even know anything about
Right.
it. Ari was
So
here
what
when it
happened? You had sex with Bobby Lee, and what happened?
Oh, I don't.
He just went down on you.
No, that's inappropriate on so
You
many
would be
levels.
going up on Eleanor.
No, I would never, nothing like that. It's just a silly thing. I don't even remember.
It was all-
Ari apparently remembers. Ari, let's get your narrative. Do it kind of like a
Because he's like a
James Earl
tape recorder.
Jones kind of a.
I'm an observer. Because when
you're a
stuff goes
newsman.
down,
You're a
they'll want
newsman.
information that I can give them
He's
to
like,
sell out my
what's
friends.
happening? Let me stick my fucking big nose in it.
Jeez. What's the story? I gotta hear this.
Yeah.
I don't know
Sorry.
shit. I feel like I'm being set up.
Yeah, Ari, what happened?
They were like,
Me.
remember when everybody used to have super feuds, like massive wars here? Well,
Yeah.
Eleanor's
They
in.
don't know that.
Oh,
You've been involved in a lot of them.
Oh yeah, a bunch, sure.
Yeah.
More so than most.
And every once in a while, you just don't settle one. So
And
that's
I've
what happens with
had two.
Eleanor.
I've had two, and you bring up that one.
Bobby Lee and
Who you beat up
So
physically
there's the other.
twice.
Some weird ass.
wait, who was the other one?
Just some weird ass waitress. I don't even remember her name.
Should she fuck one of your guys on your list?
Let's bring her in right now, everybody. Our secret guest, the weird ass waitress. We all know does not remember.
Hey, I have to go.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Venice. I have to leave at 8:30.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's 8:35.
So you just come here to start shit and then leave?
Wait till 8:50.
Not
and
just
then
to
be
start
like-
shit. Also to tell everyone.
Pretend like you're getting on a plane.
What?
Was it?
Oh, about you and Bobby? Yeah, I don't know.
Let's hear it.
How
Well,
high are you? You just said.
It was the shit story.
Was it some kind of shit story?
no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't
Why are
know.
they fighting?
Oh yeah, because I don't know.
Nobody
Bobby
knows, right?
ratted on her friend once, and then you know how fucking fake Italians get where they pretend to go
Actually,
overboard.
I'm 100% Irish.
That's why you're a fake Italian.
There is something about the Philly vibe that feels fake Italian.
Yeah.
I will name.
I
Ooh,
live in
let me
an
take the
all-Italian
worst parts.
neighborhood, yeah, and I will bury Ari alive. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're the there's 17 guys here I'd rather fight before you. And Ari, you're one of them, no offense.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your outside leg kicks are devastating.
Sorry about
That was
What about me?
sarcasm.
Would you fight me?
I mean, I technically don't include you as here, but I would fight you before Eleanor.
Really looks like he'd be the first one to go dirty.
Yeah, you're like an eye gouger.
Yeah. We're all fighting wrestling. You're like, what are you doing?
Eleanor seems like she would do that intimidating thing that like black chicks do when they're about to fight you, where you have to wait for them to
Like
take
what?
off 5 minutes of jewelry, and the entire time they're talking shit, and you're like, oh man, she's taking everything off. She's gonna fuck me up. Oh, now she's taking off nails. Oh my god, she wants her real nails in my eyes.
The last time I saw Eleanor fight was when it was like these kind of thugs were here. Like a year or two ago.
I had a fight? Oh,
Yeah.
please.
And then they got kicked out of the belly room, but
worst
nobody
fucking
wanted to
moments.
tell them to leave, and nobody wanted to call the cops. This guy had like a fucking one of those junkyard dog with the spikes coming out of it at the neck brace.
You at an S&M party, Eleanor? What's
It's
going
not
on?
my party.
Anyway, so we're all like, "What's going on?" Somebody
Anyway,
call the
he has
cops, just get him out
another
of
show.
here. We knew they were gonna call shovel. They threw some popcorn in Eleanor's car as she drove out of the parking lot. Some popcorn. And she fucking emergency brakes it. Gets out. Goes, oh no! You did not just do that. Do you want a piece of this?
You want popcorn?
Rush these dudes.
Popcorn is like throwing popcorn in a car is like that's like a ghost snowball. It's like it does nothing. It doesn't even make a sound when it hits your car.
Two of the colonels like hit air before they got there.
He did a lot of other shit before that I let go.
He was
So,
black on fucking property.
I
That's
don't
what
give
he
a
did.
shit. Yeah, that's a big problem sometimes. Yeah. I am from Philadelphia,
How many fights have you been in your life?
including one I'm about to be in with Ari.
The over/under is in scientific notation, just so you know.
Who would you think? Who would win that fight? Ari versus Eleanor.
Eleanor, no doubt.
No,
Yeah.
I do have a doubt because early days when I respected her as a woman, I wouldn't fight to my best potential. But now I would not go easy on you at all.
You think you're tough because you're from women's basketball in
I
college. You're
am
a
a man.
pussy.
I am a
And you know
man,
it.
and we are all stronger than all of you.
There's like 3 strong Jews in the whole fucking world, and you ain't one of them.
Eleanor, how many times in your life have you been punched in the face by a man?
Good question.
Start with this week.
Yeah.
Billy, were you offering something?
I get dirty.
Judging by that hat, you ain't gonna win.
Do you like to be choked in bed, Eleanor?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, shit. Out
She
loud.
answered that so quick.
That's a super fast answer.
She answered yes. She answered yes before you even threw the in bed comment.
Do you like to eat? Yes.
Do you like to be choked? Yes. In bed? Sometimes. Yeah.
And the look she gave me, I feel like she just choked me.
I came a little.
I know. I got soggy feet now.
I'd like
What?
to apologize.
Are you leaving or are you staying?
No,
I feel like you should
gotta go.
cancel your
No,
other.
I made the plans a long time ago. I gotta go.
Remember
why'd
last
you
week?
say
When
yes
we,
to this? Because you thought there was going to be a feud. That's why.
No, I said I could stay for the first 20 minutes.
remember last week when we did this and we talked about you? It was like you always seem to miss your flights,
Oh, yeah.
and you were like, you know what? It's circumstantial. It's not my fault. It just God hates me.
No, I didn't say God hates me.
And that, loosely you said
He
that.
does hate Jews, yeah.
This weekend, what happened?
It was just a connection flight. It's not the biggest deal in the world.
It's not the biggest deal in the world, but yet you missed another flight.
But I didn't miss the flight. The one flight was fucking ice or something. So then I missed the move over.
Whitney's
Who was
asking
the
a question.
first black carpenter?
Oh, boy.
Question from Boon, Shakalaka. Who was the first black
Are you
carpenter?
Googling it already?
No, you don't have to Google it. I know the answer. Jesus Christ himself.
Yep, it is Jesus. That is the correct answer.
I saw that coming, Boon. What the fuck happened to your hair? Just save it.
Momentarily.
Come sit closer so you're not screaming, everybody.
I noticed when I first got here today.
Here comes the Grinch and stole everything. Yeah, of course. Sit here. Let me plug your mic in.
Oh my God.
He sit next to Billy. We gotta initiate.
We can keep a chair in between.
Reach Shaffir. Have no queer. I mean, I was supposed to Reach Shaffir. Have no fear. I am in here. I'm not a queer.
I find that hard to believe. But I find two things that are hard to believe. Ari without fear, and you're not a queer.
Let's have a fear.
That sounds more believable.
I just thought of something. Homeless people probably don't trim their pubic hair as much, do they?
Boone, what's your pube situation like right now? I imagine it looks a lot like their head.
Which ones?
The one on your butthole.
What's your pubes like? I would assume it's very similar to the top of your head, which looks like a chia pet on crack.
Everybody should have a clean ass.
Everyone should clean their asshole. Best advice you could ever get from a
A lot
homeless
of gray,
person.
Boon.
It's been a tough ride,
That's a
Ari.
lot of gray.
You said a lot of what?
I'm sorry, man.
A lot of gray.
I apologize.
You better hope like hell you live long enough that you can get gray.
He has a lot of gray for a 39-year-old, as you tell me, and you're constantly telling me you're 39 years old.
Boon?
Yeah, that's a good sign.
That's just something that I stole from Jack Benny.
Oh, good.
Like literally, you stole it from him. You saw him on the street.
No, I saw him 10 years ago. When I mean not 10 years ago.
When you were 29,
The real 29.
you're a spiteful 29-year-old. Billy,
Yeah.
you're playing poker tonight.
Where are we playing?
I was playing poker.
Where?
Village Club in
Eleanor, you responded to the name Billy.
I'm excited.
What do you do on the weekends?
Billy
I
was
want
our
to know
first-
about Billy.
Yeah, what was going on? Sorry.
New blood.
No, the story's hilarious because this is how, like, a lot of people like. Oh,
Really,
God,
Ari?
all right.
I was trying, I'm sorry. I was trying to load Tina Turner before.
Oh, I see. Now I finally loaded up. You know what? That's open up Pandora's box.
Is this loud enough?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
I feel like, can you hear me from right here?
Yeah,
No, get closer.
you have a hat on your
Yeah.
ear.
Oh yeah, I do. I have earplugs in.
So Bobby Lee was literally at the Comedy Store, and we're like, "Can you do our podcast?" Nah, can't do it. You're 2.5 hours away, winning in poker.
Super desperate, apparently. I like how you entered the podcast with you fucking texted 26 people, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm driving up from San Diego, and I was winning. But I got excited for no fucking reason.
You were in a completely different
No,
city
exciting.
and you came.
What?
You were in a completely different like part of California, and you came.
Yeah. I was in Chula Vista, so it was kind of easy to leave if you've ever been there. It's a terrible place. Have you been there?
No.
Jeez.
Is it like an Indian casino you're at? Like a...
No, it's like right in the middle of the city. It's the shadiest shit ever. It's like really close to the border, but they got a few licenses back in the day for card rooms in San Diego, so they had 3 of them, and they're just right on busy ass streets. So it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's just a bunch of guys who do construction that play poker there. But it was going good. One of them listens to your podcast, because when I said I was leaving to do a podcast, he was like, "What podcast?" And I said the Deathsquad Secret Show, and he goes, "No shit, I listened to that." And he was super pumped, and I felt important. And I got all the way here, and I was like, Boon Shakalaka is more important.
I know one thing. It smells like I smell collard greens.
That's your hair, man. No doubt.
Oh, God.
People wonder why I tweet about you incessantly.
I'm here. You know what hot water cornbread is?
What do they call it? What?
Hey, Boon, when did Thibault text you?
Do payphones get text? Do payphones get text?
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Hot
You might have
water.
received
Well, how
a
come
tip.
Tina Marie knew what it was when she was living? Because she said it in that song called Square Bitch. She said hot water cornbread.
More importantly, why is Tina Marie dead?
I don't know why she died, but I know she said hot water
Poor
cornbread. I
diet.
didn't know white folks knew about hot water cornbread.
Yeah, all the ones that
She's
knew
not
about
really
it died, Boon.
white. Think about it.
Wait, isn't that what they bread and water? Is that what they feed you in prison?
Oh, you've been there.
Juvenile hall.
Oh, she
Ooh.
I get
Really,
that.
we're getting even closer now.
How up
16
were you?
out of
I'm gonna gauge like the importance of like I should have stayed because I was up $350 and winning. Because I noticed when you left, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you should go. I love that podcast." So you must have been winning by a lot.
You want the? I don't really talk about numbers.
You're not a numbers guy.
I was $800 I won today.
Nice.
Boy.
You want $800?
I don't have it with me. I don't have it with me.
Do you want to buy
I
800
took it
books?
to the bank.
I think he hid it in his hat.
Do you want to buy 800 books?
I want to get you before the internal revenue due.
I said $800. Boone thought about the next 3 years of his life, man. He'd be good to go. It was a good day, but it was worth the drive up. I ate a sandwich in the car. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, not too shabby. Sandwich in the car.
Yeah.
McDonald loves it.
Hey, I gotta go, but my special is coming out February 5th. Passive aggressive. I
Where you
gotta go to some effect.
Where you going?
Ari Shaffir, guys, check out his podcast, Skeptic Tank. We have
Starting shit.
we have an Ari Shaffir replacement on his way,
Good.
so don't worry, we'll have.
Who is that?
Is it Bobby Lee?
It's
I don't
not.
even know the beef, but I want to know it.
I want to know it now
There
too.
is
So
no
what?
beef. There is no anything.
Eleanor, rewind it because there's
I
no
don't
way there's no
remember it.
fucking there's no way
You
because
did.
you're like
You
are you
really
setting me
don't.
up.
Wait, she called it a
Well, because I
she
thought
called
Ari
it a
was
small
fucking
thing.
around. He called it a what?
You call it a small thing, so you remember.
What do you mean? A small his dick? I saw it.
No, you said the thing between you and Bobby Lou was small.
Let me say this.
Yeah, I don't
That doesn't
remember.
seem
It was
very
a long
small.
time ago.
You seem
Eleanor,
very upset about it.
for a long time you were the head waitress here.
Yes.
When I met you were the head waitress and you were kind of just dabbling in comedy.
The head wait.
No. I started comedy. A head waitress, Boon. You know about head.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm fighting right now, Boon.
Who's better at
Kidding. I'm not
Who's-
fighting Boon.
Nah,
You
yeah,
catch
because-
that. I don't
yeah.
have health
it? Who do you
insurance.
think's better at giving head?
I don't know. I'm very good.
Yeah, I would, dude.
She still wasn't certain though. That's
You know what I go? I go like this. Boone's.
May have had more practice.
I know. I would think. No, I'm gonna go with Eleanor.
All right. Yay! I won again.
I'm gonna go with Eleanor on that. No disrespect, though.
What you do? What you say?
I said that Eleanor might be better at giving head than you are.
Right.
Well, one way to find out.
Wait.
All right, you guys.
Who's
We're gonna
who's
turn the
the-
cameras off for real. Everybody, close your eyes if you're allergic to cum.
Do you still have blood in it?
Oh man, I was in the
Depends if that turns you on or not.
yeah, it was-
I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, if you weren't here earlier,
He's got that flu.
I've got the flu.
AIDS.
That's another word that rhymes with
Jew.
Ooh.
And two. And two and two.
Why do homeless
T-W-O.
people like rhyming?
I like how he always, if
He's
you don't
already
know, he always
rhymed twice.
spells things. O-T-O-O. Yeah, two, yes. Eleanor, you so head waitress here.
Yeah.
How many times have you? Because this is back in the day when Mitzi was still coming here.
Pretty much.
You pretty much had to report to Mitzi of like this person's bombing, this person's
No,
doing good.
no, that's not what a head waitress does.
But back in the day, you were asked
No.
questions about that shit.
No. No. Nope. They make
Never?
that up. People make that up. That's not true at all. Mitzi never asked me how anybody
Really?
did. I never talked about any comic.
That was
and how
always
they
the
did.
rumor.
Because
that
people
you
make
had her
shit
ear.
up.
Yeah.
No, I would. The only thing
I also
I
heard
did
you
for
could fly.
Mitzi, yes, I definitely can fly. I did work. I was her personal assistant for a little while.
How was that?
But that was fine. She was writing a book at the time.
Wow, that had to be interesting
Yeah, it
as
was
fuck,
really
right?
cool.
Because
Yeah.
she knows the real shit of
Yeah, and I had to go through all these old tapes of like Kinnison and Dice and all these guys at the Dunes Hotel. It was really cool shit. Like, and she was trying to do a Vegas book, put a Vegas book together.
of all the time when there was a comedy store
Yeah.
in Vegas.
And she has every one of them recorded every time they went on. Every
On
night.
like Betamax.
How cool.
Like you're
Like
putting
a
in like
cassette.
tapes that are this big. Like
No, it's audio only.
all the lights in all of West Hollywood would dim when you would push play.
It makes you wonder if somebody's in charge of like taking care of that, because that shit's not gonna last forever, and that's some.
Yeah,
you know?
I definitely was trying to get her to transfer it. I'm sure Paulie did.
You think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Paulie did.
I transferred
Yeah.
it,
Me and Sandy
bro.
transferred all that.
Yeah, see? And
Put
it's
it
really
all
neat
on
stuff. And it's an
VHS,
amazing
bro.
library that she has.
VHS will never die, bro. Transferred everything. How many people's, and can you name them, and my name probably is on that list, cocks have you seen on stage at the Comedy Store? Cocks or balls?
I don't know, I blacked out after Joe Diaz's.
So a lot of people have said that in history.
Swings out every time, goddamn. Remember he would be in the middle of
That's a
the
cock,
pit, he'd
goddammit.
be walking, and I'd be serving a drink right up front, and his little Cuban egg roll would hit my shoulder.
What do you think that is? What do you think that is with comics showing their dicks and balls? I mean, I don't really see it as much anymore, but that definitely was something that was huge.
I mean, Ari and I recently had a ball off in the
Ari loves to show his. I
yeah,
think
Ari
he
and I
showed his
both
for
actually Ari and I
$1,000
both had
one night.
sunglasses and earphones on our balls only, hanging out in the downstairs in the OR, and we had
Billy,
people
do you
judge
do
our
this?
balls.
For
I feel like it's
$1,000,
like-
I would 100%.
I feel like it's like
I don't even like my dick, but for $1,000, I'd deal with it for however long needed to be.
But what would you do for $1,000?
Oh my! Did you see his eyes lit up when I
If
said
you have the
$800?
meat, show it. But if you have a toe size, don't show it.
So if your dick looks like a toe, no.
Yeah.
If you got the meat,
See,
I'd like to
that's
greet.
why I left that motherfucker Danny Bynum because he had toe size.
Oh,
I thought you left him because he has a wife and a child on the way. And nothing had ever happened with you.
He just don't know how to handle his business.
shit. This business? Oh, good.
I find
I
that
think he's doing all right.
Well, with me, he didn't know how to handle it.
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah.
bad. I mean, how do you handle Boon Shakalaka being in love with you?
Easy.
Embrace it. Wasn't that the most
With
somber
open
thing?
arms.
He said it's easy.
Easy like Sunday morning.
He almost broke into something.
Almost broken the song. But I think that showing the dick thing, back to your question, Redban, it's like there comes times like when you're on stage or and it's like there's only a few people in there. Nothing's gonna work. If you do that, if you take it to that level, it's like this person's the craziest fucking person in the room. Like no one gives a fuck as much as a comic that's like, look, I'll get naked, I'll do. One time I opened up for Doug Stanhope. Brian Jarvis and I opened up for Stanhope. This is 10 years ago. And he took us both to this shitty place in San Bernardino. And it was a Thursday night. They had promoted the show like it's Friday. And all three of us showed up, and there's nobody in the room except for us. And Doug Stanhope goes, I'll give you an extra $50 if you do your whole 15 minutes completely naked, but keep the socks on. And I'm like, you got it, bro.
Wait, how much were
there
you
was
ri-
like
Wait, how much
Was
did
that
he
double
offer you?
your pay?
50 extra bucks.
Does that double the pay?
It was giving me $100 to do 15 minutes, and now he's giving me $150. But there's nobody but my buddy, my girlfriend at the time, Doug Stanhope, and like the wait staff. So I'm like, you got it. So I did, and it was just to entertain the other comics.
Yeah, but you're almost
Yeah,
a
you
nudist.
I'm one of those people that will.
You play like the Don Barris band every night, and like you usually don't have a shirt on. You're kind of like that dude on Saturday Night Live this week, that Maroon 5 dude. like where you just like to take off your clothes all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
The
That's
last
true.
naughty show I saw you on, you had a sock on your dick.
Yeah, and
that's true. That's
there's
generally
It
my
seemed like you
wardrobe. That's my
definitely
wardrobe.
owned that song.
That's
Like,
my wardrobe. Yeah.
So this week there's a gay naughty show. This is the first gay naughty
yeah.
show here at the
Excited
Comedy
about that.
Store.
Thursday night.
And I went. Are you going to do the dick thing?
Yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm doing a porn star fan mail.
Because we were talking, me and about 7 guys, about planting people throughout the audience, so that when you come out, we all act like we're going to rush the stage and grab your dick.
I'm fine with that, but the thing is,
I'm trying to start a riot of.
look, that's you opening Pandora's box. You get me hard, I have no, just like being like friends with the Incredible Hulk. You're just like, you know what? Once I turn into this monster, I have no fucking disclaimers about what happens after that. I just wake up in a smashed up building and there's a bunch of dead prostitutes around me, and I'm like, my pants are ripped up, and I'm like, what happened? And they're like, just keep walking down the street, Banner. Keep walking down the street. But,
Do you do it, Redban? Do you show your cock?
No, but I recently.
no, but you're dirty. You
it's like
took
you're toying with the idea right now.
Well,
asking
I've been working
questions,
on my-
getting comfortable.
I've been experimenting with ZMA, which is this zinc thing that you take before you go to bed that has a bunch of zinc in it and melatonin and stuff. But it makes your dick bigger. Also, is one of the side effects.
serious?
Yeah. So, yeah.
That in my
You just made them a
nightstand.
lot of money.
So I've been playing with that lately, and also these like pills that you can get at gas stations that are like Viagra.
No, they're starting to sponsor. Well, I
Getting
don't want
dick
to say that.
enhancers from a gas station?
You know, I don't need to. I just been
That
bored
shit works.
lately, and I'm thinking like, how can I make?
I took it.
I haven't been there.
Yeah,
It
it totally
works?
works. Oh yeah.
Listen to me. I took it on a podcast.
Wait, the
on a,
zinc
on
or
a,
the-
no, the other
Yeah,
one.
the-
The other
The
one.
zinc just makes it overall bigger, and you get frothier loads. Like it's like when it comes out, it's kind of like a milkshake in a Vitamix.
What?
Like it's just
Frothy kind of?
frothy. Like it
You're using
explodes.
the right no, that's not the
I don't
Frothy.
think
Frothy is like
Yeah,
beer
it's-
froth.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're right.
it's
You're
like
right.
that.
No, Billy's totally
Like an
right.
Alka
There's more.
Seltzer,
right,
like,
It's more
right,
air in
right.
it. There's more air in it.
fucking
Right,
sizzling
right.
like that?
It's like it's
But that
minerals.
boner pill shit works because I took one here at a live show just as a goof.
How
So
much
that-
is it?
Like $1,000 a pill.
It's like $8.
But no, it's cheap. You know,
But it takes your
$4
blood and like instead of like, hey, I have all this blood over here, it's like, hey, just put more blood down there for 24 hours.
But it's 24 hours, and that's a problem that you're
Wait,
like,
the-
hey, that sounds manageable. One whole day. You ever thought about being rock hard for an entire day? No matter how many times you come, it's problematic. It's like having a zombie in your pants. I shoot it in the head, nothing.
Wait, so how many times did you come?
Well, no, there's a lot of times you can't even
Strange-
come. You can't
I will
come.
take-
You're just like you're rock hard and you don't even want to
Not
come.
even-
Not for me, man. I literally, like, I came, and then my dick was just like one of those, like, you know when you're a little kid and there's those little bouncy things you could, like, as a box, you can punch it and it just comes back like, that's all you got? That's all you got? Like, my dick never went down.
Yeah,
And, like,
it's,
yeah,
Blue came 3 times already.
so lately I've been
Without a
taking.
pill.
he just got more black in his hair when,
You
when I
said
said that.
24-hour boner and $800, and he already come twice.
Yeah.
So lately I've been taking like really good angled shots of my new. You know, it's kind of like a hobby now.
Your
Just
new
try
growth?
playing with my dick size and girth and stuff.
Awesome.
And so now I've been taking really cool like angled shots, and I've been sending it to random people. Just
I got one.
Like I'll just be like, hey, I'll just send one to her.
I got one random one where you're like, hey, look at my new dick.
Wait, are you
and I'm
doing like self shots like this, or do you set
Yeah,
up
kind
a
of
tripod
like
with a
that.
timer?
You know, like just kind of like that stuff. Like MySpace photos for dicks.
Here's my dick at a
It's like one of those
45.
glam shots you can get in the like 90s at a mall. It's like it's got a wig on. It looks like it just won the prom, and it's like, hey,
This dick has teased veins.
yeah.
80s.
It's like the cover of the Thriller album.
Like,
It's
you
like
use the
Tiger
whole
laying
can
next
of
to his dick.
Aquanet.
Plus, you know, like when you put on regular
No one's
condoms and it's really tight, and you're like, this is so great because it's tight.
Boner
but it feels
killer.
like I don't have
No,
a.
those are boner
a-
killers for me.
Yeah, they always break also. Well, I guess
I'm not worried about that. That's not my problem.
you don't have that break where you don't even realize you're fucking and you broke.
If
and
I
you're
get
like,
it
this whole
on
time
and
I've
we're
been
having
fucking-
sex and it breaks, look. Prostitute, schmostitute. That's what I say.
Serious question.
Hey, look who it is! It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Damn, have a seat.
Come
on,
Hey,
Why don't you do this?
serious question.
So everybody knows these two, this is like the Joker and Batman sitting next to each other. And I don't know which one's which.
Yes, you
They both claim Batman.
Now that's
What
a
the
real
fuck?
feud.
Look, joking.
That's
But I'm
a
just
real
saying you guys
feud
are
that
arch
they have.
enemies. And you both think that you're the good guy. But you know what? I think you're both the good guy.
How the fuck am I walk in here and I'm getting compared to Boon Shaka fucking
No, you're not.
What the fuck kind of, what did I miss?
I'm saying you guys
He's
are...
up anywhere
I wouldn't
remotely
take that
close to
shit.
my fucking level.
Don't take
Don't
that
touch
shit, Sean.
anything, you fucking. This is the problem with you being nice.
You're
to
the one
this guy.
that fucking sat down. You have the choice to sit in the audience, you dumb fuck.
No, I was
I'm
invited
saying-
here, and now
He was
your
invited here.
homeless friend is touching my cup. Your homeless friend that you do an impression of, not mine.
And you
All
treat
right,
it
sure you're not fucking homeless, you piece of shit.
He's not homeless.
See, that's a real feud.
We asked the guy that you do an impression of, but Brody Stevens was on last week and couldn't do tonight.
Look at this fucking thing.
Oh,
Hey,
TV.
everybody, good to be here.
Maybe TV should switch seats just to make Tony more comfortable because we don't want an angry Tony. Tony's been working all day on the burn. He's tired. He decided to
TV,
come here.
baby.
You want to buy a TV for $1? I could sell you one.
Baby burn.
Relatively enjoyed it. So Tony walks in hostile.
I'm sitting, it says, fuck, I'm on stage Saturday night in the main room, as if it's not bad enough that the spots I get here at 1 a.m.
Stage.
What happens?
How dare you get
What
a
happens-
Saturday main room paid spot?
Yeah, exactly. As if that's not bad enough. All of a sudden, this fuck walks out from backstage while I'm on stage.
Oh,
How's that possible?
shit.
That some a piece of shit
Did that really
is
happen?
all of a sudden on the stage when I'm on stage, unplanned, uninvited.
Unscripted.
Underrated. Underrated.
Not really cool.
Yeah, not cool at all. Not cool at all, dude. You know when you're allowed on stage. That's
When you're
7:15
invited.
on a Sunday
Yeah.
in the original room.
He's still doing better
If
than
they'll
me
have
here. This is the most stage time I got at the Comedy Store.
We'll get you some stage time. Don't worry.
Ever.
I sleep around a lot. I can get you.
Yeah, that's one crazy thing is Billy is a hilarious comic. If you haven't seen his stand-up comedy, he's
I
one of my
haven't.
Did I just
favorite
drive
stand-up
you-
comics. One of my favorite up-and-comers. And in San Diego, you're a Comedy Store regular. Like you pretty much own that club. But down here, it's like a totally
It
different
doesn't
company.
transfer up, it goes
Yeah.
the opposite direction.
It does go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
It does go the opposite direction. But
Down in San Diego,
No, I
Boon
moved
is
there.
like
I
Richard
never
Pryor.
worked there.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Perhaps you weren't listening.
Dude,
when
Boon
we were
would
talking.
crush in San Diego.
Yeah. Crush cans.
I was trying to set myself up.
You be picking your boogers.
Oh, here
All
we
right,
go.
dude.
I remember this
You don't
There we
story.
pick
go.
boogers anymore?
What the? Well, you don't even. What are you talking about?
You be digging out of your nose.
Yeah, that's what I do. Man.
This is good, though.
Jesus
Digging out
Christ.
of your nose.
So, let me ask you something.
Why do you guys hate each other so
From a
much?
creative perspective,
good
what are
point.
the positives of having Boon on a podcast?
There's actually a lot
tell
of them. There's a lot
Other
of
than
them.
the HIV positive.
Nice.
But then that case, I must have got it from you.
Oh, there you go.
Did you guys fuck?
That's a good question.
No, we talked about this last week.
I'm sorry.
Because
I wasn't
Teeb
here.
always
I didn't
keeps this guy around him for some reason. So that's why we talked about it last week. Yeah, that's what it actually. Me and Teeb are actual friends, Boon. He doesn't just hang
I'm
out.
friends with Boon. I will absolutely admit to being equal friends with Boon as much as Tony Hinchcliffe.
Equal
Really?
amount.
In a lot of ways, yes. In a lot of ways, yes.
Wow.
In a lot of ways, yes. And that is
Hey,
not an
just
insult to you.
Well, how come every time I hug white boys, you be looking at me?
In a lot of ways, that's not an insult to Tony as much as it is a compliment to Boon.
I
And
think,
vice versa.
I think it's a lot more.
Anthony Click Clack, you
Oh
always.
boy.
If more people looked at life the way Boon did, I feel like there'd be a lot less dead people, there'd be a lot more dicks getting sucked in this country, and that's what we need.
Boon doesn't even suck people's dicks. He just fucking hacks around here.
I can't
Selling
do
shit
that.
for a
Is that why
dollar.
you're mad?
No, it's not. I've never been turned down to Boon sucking my dick. I've never asked.
I wish bisexual booger pickers would leave me alone.
I'll tell you the feud.
right,
I'll tell you the
let's
feud
just
so I don't have to explain
Wait a
it
minute,
again.
let's see this. Let's hear this, because I'm sorry.
Okay, let
I
me
don't know
explain to you the feud.
it. Okay.
I got here in May. It'll be 6 years ago.
Wow.
Right. Thank you.
Cool.
Sure. I guess that's an okay thing. Right. So, Boon was a nice guy.
He's a nice person.
He's
You
talking.
don't need to face me while you're talking. You have this spit fucking thing that you can't control, and it's fucking disgusting. So when you talk to me right now, face that way or face your really good friend Thibault.
You're jealous of me.
Spit on him.
You don't mind getting spilled.
Anyway, super long story short, Boon either picks people who he has a crush on, and then he stares at them all the time,
Yes.
never says anything funny, never anything entertaining.
Which is what everyone does when they have a crush on someone.
Yes,
I will
that's
defend
true.
Boon in that way.
Except some people, when they have a crush on somebody, try to impress that other
Yeah,
person.
but you copy other people.
What does that mean?
Oh boy.
What does that
Wherever
mean?
you see them do, you do.
What does that mean, Boon? Give me an example.
You copy their way of association.
Alright. Okay, Boon. You got me. I still the rest. Whose essence have I stolen, Boon?
No, I'm not talking about jokes. I'm talking about you copy what other people
We
do.
weren't either.
What does that mean? So what am I copying? The
Well,
look,
you
the
copy
way I
Jeff
talk.
Dennis and that other dude. And
Hey,
Ricky
Copy
and
Jeff
Those
Dennis.
are other-
Eleanor, you're good friends with
Those are-
Jeff Dennis.
I am.
How much do I have in common with Jeff Dennis?
Not a lot. No.
You're both white.
Jeff Dennis
If you
is a
see
tough
him,
You
guy.
are both white.
maybe you would do it. If you hear them say that I'm homeless, then you say it. Because you never said that until you said it.
Oh, no. We don't hear people say it. We just judge by
Right,
the cart
you-
and
yes.
uh,
You're coming with a shopping cart full of fucking
Coach.
garbage.
You do.
baby coach that you
You
park
do
outside.
tend to throw off the
You
curve.
just hear them say it.
People
No,
take
I have
pictures
pictures
of
of
you
it.
during the day digging through dumpsters. Do you think my other friends dig through dumpsters, man? Think I keep a lot of these people around me?
Hey, wait a minute.
Point to Hinchcliffe.
We are comics,
Tomorrow, give me
so
some more money.
Okay.
I dig the ones here, give me some money.
And then there was a time in which, about 3 or 4 years ago, I'm struggling, I'm broke, I create this strong writing habit, and I really need a laptop, and I mean broke. Some people say they're broke, and you're not really fucking broke. I'm talking
That's
like,
true, I know those.
I'm out of
Yeah.
money for a footlong at Subway broke. And I need a laptop. And Boon comes here with an Apple MacBook one night, and he says, hey, if you show me your penis, I'll give you
I
this
didn't say
MacBook.
penis, I said dick.
Okay.
You wonder why he's my friend.
in no way is he proper about that shit.
And you wonder why he's my friend, and you wonder why he's on the
That's
podcast.
hilarious.
It's just
Tags
so
like that.
happened.
So wait,
Because
so what
you know
happened?
Because my pen is larger than yours, and it writes good.
Okay, but what happened? Did he not give you the MacBook?
Really, what does it do? Write down jokes that it's seen from the 70s 1,000 times? I don't have anything,
And
dude.
it's not
You're
written on a
garbage.
t-shirt, the next script.
Alright, very good. Anyway, so the time he wanted to see my dick, I was just so happened to be, I was wearing sweatpants. We were on the front patio. I go, you want to see it for a fucking MacBook? Here you go, right here, buddy.
Sure,
Oh,
for the audio
He
listeners,
leans
Tony's
over.
pointing his
I didn't pull it down. I pulled it over. He stuck his head over, saw my penis, hands me the MacBook. I take it to the manager's office because it was low on battery. I plug it in. Turns out it wasn't low on battery. It was fucking broken.
Are you saying Boon stole a broken fucking Mac?
Yes.
Of course he did. I thought you were gonna say it was the manager's and he had to give it back.
He got to see my stellar cock for nothing.
So you're saying he owes
So
you
did
back?
Esther.
It's a really good point.
No,
Actually-
I think she gave a little back.
I think
no,
this is pretty
not
brilliant.
really. She's got to see it for free, and she also got
Boon, you owe
about
him a Mac.
14 minutes worth
How
of
about
jokes
we
for a
just-
girl that has 16 minutes worth of jokes.
So is that why you're always mad at me?
No, I'm
You
mad
owe
at you,
him-
Boon, because you stare at me and you're just a
No,
hideous
well,
beast.
you always
You do
stare at me.
stupid things.
Okay, I'm gonna hug a white boy tomorrow night and see if you will look at us.
Why a
God,
white
hope that's
boy?
not me.
To even see if I would be looking at you, Boon, it means that you would have to already be staring at me while hugging some dude, which is creepy enough.
That's a good point.
You scared me one day you told a lie and said that I had a shopping cart. There was no shopping cart. When
I have a
looked
picture
behind
of that
the bush, you
shopping
said I was
cart.
taking a piss.
What is
I wasn't taking no
it? But,
piss
it,
or
but
something.
was it a baby carriage?
Oh no, Boone, you're talking about the time that I literally saw you
You have the
taking.
delusion
Yeah,
imagination.
now he's gonna talk
You
over me
hallucinate.
on this one. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, we
Diapers.
need
Here we
some.
go.
Where was the shopping cart?
Hey, Boone,
You
let
said there was no
him
shopping
just
cart.
let him
Yeah.
finish his story, and then you'll have your checks.
Boone, settle down.
Way to mediator.
Yeah.
I'm walking here one night. Who do I see taking a shit underneath the tree? That's right.
I remember that one.
Mr. I'm just like the rest of your
Is
friends,
that right?
Boon Shakalaka. A guy who I'm the same amount of friend with to my friend Thibault. How many times have you seen me taking a fucking shit under a tree?
0. How many times have I seen? I have pictures of Ari pissing in a parking lot.
That's Ari! Ari's disgusting.
And Ari is a friend that I would describe higher than Boone or Tony. But both of them taking shit under a tree.
First
Down
time I
the same
saw
wheelhouse.
you improvise a California 647B right here.
Which is what, Boone?
647B.
What is it?
That's the penal code. Look it up on your internet. Y'all got
Giving you a chance to
Yeah.
not
Look it
let
up on
people
your
look it up.
internet.
this. 647B.
Is that somebody's room number?
No,
What is
look it
that?
up on your internet. I'm not going to tell you.
That's
He
sucking a
calls
dick.
it. Wait, time out. He
But
calls
anyway,
it
I saw
y'all.
you-
Wait, Boone.
But you-
I'm
this
going to
is-
have to tell you again, Boone. You gotta let this person talk.
Who? Which one?
What?
Anybody but you.
We have to be professional here.
Okay, this.
You call it everyone else's internet. How departed are you?
Yeah, because he
Y'all's
has
internet.
no access to the internet.
Have you ever
other
been
than-
on the internet?
Oh, I thought you guys.
Oh, they had that at the library.
Well, anyway, 647B.
Nobody looks-
Lascivious conduct.
So you're saying that I improvised some penal code on stage
Just
with
let me
another
show you what
professional
you did.
comedian?
Pun intended.
This is what you did.
For
I
the
saw
audio
you do it to a
listeners.
guy.
Yeah, you saw me do that to a guy without a dick in my mouth, in front of a fucking audience, getting
No,
laughs.
You wasn't on the audience. You was out there on the original room floor.
Oh boy.
Were we on the floor?
We got some
Well,
breaking news
yeah.
here.
So you saying that I was improvising sucking a guy off, or was I?
Next time I'm gonna have me an iPhone and take a picture.
Yeah, I have a feeling that
Everybody
next
hold your
time
iPhone.
you're not gonna have an
I don't think
iPhone.
there's anybody in this room that finds that believable.
I highly doubt that.
Anybody? Is there
You're
anybody?
gonna steal your iPhone.
Oh, I'm gonna have a BlackBerry.
Now, Tony, he's saying that you like to have sex with men. Does this upset you in any way?
No, that's not even what he said. This is how stupid this fucking guy
Well,
is.
you stupid. You say you saw me taking shit. I saw you improvise.
No,
something.
I literally saw you taking shit.
You ain't seen
What
it.
what you're saying half-ass in front of people on a professional, on a fucking thing that you can't even fathom.
Yeah.
It goes to y'all's internet.
Does anybody find it coincidental that they've dressed alike tonight?
Oh, shit.
You look like Andy Williams.
Oh, you got me there. Oh, you got me with it. Andy Williams
I
joke.
don't know if they'll get that. They're gonna need that internet.
Yeah. Who
Hey,
was
should
the
I feel bad about shitting under a tree?
No.
Who was the other person that Tony was with that night?
I didn't actually see him.
What he's talking about
What's
is
that, so it's a black guy?
it was Angelo Bowers.
Oh,
and what would happen
you mean
was
the guy that it was a black dude.
no, it
It
wasn't.
was
That's
not.
not, now you're just lying. Now you're lying, dude.
No.
Now you're being a filthy
that's
homeless
why I
liar on top of everything else. Now you're stupid.
Wait,
I
I'm waiting to see Boon
but I got to be
draw.
lying. See, that's the thing about it. You always want to say things about me. When it come back to you, you can't.
I don't want to say things about you. I don't want to be fucking near you. I don't understand why T glorifies you like you're a human being like the rest of
You're
us.
just jealous because he don't glorify you.
No, he does. I'm the fucking man,
You're
bitch.
jealous.
Boone is a man.
I know you're
Tony doesn't have the
bisexual.
confidence.
You said I'm a tranny. You're bisexual.
You're right. Me.
I've
You
seen
want
you dress.
to call me a tranny, but you don't want me to call you a bisexual.
Wait a
You
minute.
dress like a
Boone,
woman,
have you
and
never
I
dressed like a
fuck
woman?
only chicks. You see the difference between the comparison,
He
dude?
does bring up a good point. You did show up at my birthday party in drag.
Yeah, I've seen you in drag a million times.
I don't remember that.
Boone, I've seen you in drag.
Wait, is that a real thing?
That is a real thing.
Time out. Where
Yeah.
the fuck
For the
is
audio listeners, he definitely
Gotta get
has
out.
been in drag many times.
Well,
I
there's a
live
lot
here
of
and I
people in
didn't see
drag
any.
in show business. Justin Hoffman been in drag.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
How much money was he getting?
Jack
Yeah,
Travolta.
$800. $800 in a TV.
Eleanor, how long ago did you meet Boon? Because he's been here longer than any
Since
of us.
I started here. I started here in '93. And Boon was here. Yes.
Yeah, that's what you look like.
Hey, wait,
you
someone-
look like Dick
Wait a
Van
minute.
Dyke and
I look
Andy
like Dick
Williams.
Van Dyke? What the fuck?
No, he look like
No,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
still-
Dykes, but that's
Your
ridiculous.
references from the 50s are really hitting the demo right now, man. They're really
Hey,
good
someone
calls.
told me a story of the 40th anniversary party. I wasn't here, but Louis Anderson came through
Yeah.
and recognized Boon from the 80s.
Yep.
That's a story I heard.
I believe that.
I can believe
He
that.
said he came through, he saw him on stage at the open mic and goes, that Boon Shakalaka. I'm not good at impressions.
He recognized him from the AIDSies.
Yeah. When did you?
Which is the AIDS Awards, if no one's ever been there. That's where you can get an award for having AIDS. It's a very...
Have you ever hung
Well,
out
I
with
do
Louis?
have AIDS from the Internal Revenue.
Boone, have you ever hung out with Louis Anderson by yourself?
No.
Were you doing comedy here in the 80s?
The hell was the name? It's called acquired income deficiency syndrome. Everybody probably got that.
What question are you answering?
Yeah, 3 questions
Tony, as a
ago.
matter of fact, you're getting a big income tax check. I heard, and I.
That's what happens when you work.
What do you mean you heard?
Oh, no,
Well,
he
You
reads people's
heard
mail.
from who?
He
My
checked you on
accountant?
Facebook like I was into.
I would assume from Tony. I would assume you heard that from Tony.
Not necessarily somebody that.
No, you wouldn't have heard it from me because unlike you, I don't talk to him, Teeb.
You don't.
Other than from the minute you sat down in the last 22 minutes, you guys do not talk.
Seems like
There's
to sit
too
next
much
to this
sexual
sloppy
tension
fuck.
going on
I
here.
think that's what it is.
There is.
Attention.
Tony,
But you've been
what,
looking at me, I know that.
Okay.
Tony, what
just-
year did you start liking black men? Compared to white men? Was it an
I
Ohio
like that
thing?
look. I like that look.
I think it means that being from Ohio, at what point in time in your life did you go, you know what, black people aren't as bad as I've always heard?
I was raised in a very black neighborhood and I always had black friends growing up, so I'm cool. You know what I mean?
So you don't see colors.
Whoop whoop. That's what I always say when I'm in the hood.
He doesn't see colors, but definitely sees home.
I'm a rap battle champion, people. You better recognize.
Oh shit.
Boone, when you masturbate, who do you imagine? Like, who do you look at? Like, what
That's a
fantasies
really
are
good
you
question.
thinking about? Are you thinking about just, like a
When I
soft bed?
masturbate,
Or, yeah, when you masturbate, what are you thinking of?
3 white boys.
Three white boys.
3 white boys.
Loves black
The 3
Jesus.
white boys from the Bible, I believe. It's the
Believes in black Jesus.
butcher, the
jacks
baker,
off
and the
to white
candlestick
dudes.
maker.
Or wise men.
Is that like One Direction? What 3 men are you thinking of?
Think about the 3 white boys
One
in the
Direction.
frame
One
of
of
the
them name is Anthony Click Clack.
See, that's my point, people. Do you see what's
Wait,
wrong?
who's Anthony Click-Clack?
This guy
You're
jerks
sitting,
off
he's
thinking
sitting
about
to your
me.
right.
Oh, that's
And
your
Matt Edgar and
Ew.
Stingy Benji.
Those are your
Stingy
3
bitches.
fantasies?
Yeah,
What
that's
happened
what I'm
to
saying.
Dennis?
That's
And
And,
Jeff Dennis.
You know you love Jeff Dennis. You check his mail all the time. That's fucked up.
Now, do you think of them all together or one by one? Like, you have
But
one.
they just don't know how to play their cards. They don't know how to shuffle and deal.
Well, they shuffle.
You have to teach them.
They have to give you the chance.
Hey, Steve, do we have a question from the
Wait,
audience?
if you waited 10 more seconds, he was gonna start singing again.
Eleanor,
Yes.
change the subject because we can talk
Sorry.
about how much Tony and Boone want to suck each other off for the rest of the
Okay.
fucking year.
So you want me to talk
But-
about whose dick I like to
No,
suck?
no, 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 because we don't have that much time.
No.
2000,
We have to end.
2014's around the corner. But biggest celebrities that you can recall seeing since you started working here. Because Sean Penn was here the other night, and I was like, damn, that's like a big celebrity sighting.
You mean on stage or just
No,
hanging out?
well, either one, but on stage, I mean, I've
So
seen,
like
yeah, Carlin and
Pryor
Isabel
was
Pryor.
doing a year. Rich Pryor did a whole year every Wednesday night and every Friday night he was here. We're like, oh shit, I don't even remember what year that was. 99 maybe? Something like that. He did a whole year, so everyone came to see him.
Mhm.
Whoopi Goldberg
I
was
was
here,
here.
Chevy
I
Chase.
remember that.
Unbelievable
It
people.
was almost like felt like a farewell tour.
Yeah, it was
Because
great.
he knew he was so sick that he could not probably do functional stand-up in
Yeah.
the next few years.
He was still I mean, he was still so fucking sharp though. It was amazing. And his wife used to make me give him. He would ask
Cocaine.
for a martini, and she would make me give him water. And he would sip it, and he'd throw the glass at me and be like, "Bitch!"
Really? That's hilarious. That's so cool.
And then I was like, "Wait, why is she not giving him alcohol? You know, if you're that sick, fuck, let him shoot up. Shit, man, fuck it. You know, it's Richard Pryor. Let him do whatever he wants."
You would think.
But yeah, she was. I
But
mean,
other
she was
than that,
trying
like,
to, she
audience
was trying
members.
to keep him.
Audience members, who can you think of that's been like, God damn.
Keanu Reeves. I remember that. Is that a big star? It is.
Depends.
Yeah.
Pre-Matrix or
I go
post-Matrix,
all
it
of it.
depends.
If it's an actor, I don't really give a shit.
Wait, was it?
What if it's a black rapper?
We've had a million of those. Tupac was like.
So
my
have you,
number one
right?
customer.
True or false?
Yeah. Gotta pay rent, bitches. Tupac was a good tipper, man. Great.
That's
tipper.
what I heard.
Tupac, Snoop
Really?
Dogg, yeah.
I heard Tupac was a fantastic tipper.
Every one of them. Always. Dre was always here.
Suge Knight was here the other night.
Well, that's different. We don't
I
have
shook my
that.
pants. I shook my pants when I saw him. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's fucking.
That's why
He
I
just
have
looks
I have
like
the
he
right
could
to bear
fucking kill
arms
you.
too. That's all I know.
He looks like he could kill you.
I'm sure he could.
Redban?
We should all shut up right now.
Redban, you have any
Wait, is he
shit?
here?
Is he a listener?
Alright, no.
I'll fight him. I don't
What?
give a
What?
shit.
No,
You
you
do
wouldn't.
not want to fight Suge
No.
Knight.
It
you
goes
wouldn't.
back to that. Like, why would she fight
Hey, what's the
anyone?
urban show here on Tuesdays called? Is it Chocolate Tuesdays? Is that here?
No, ours is
Trippin'
Tuesdays.
Tripping on Tuesday.
Tripping on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
There's
It's a great show.
I did a
Black,
show
there's
with
Black
Guy
Friday right before
Guy
every,
used to
right
run
after
it.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They call it Black
Fat
Friday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I did a show with Guy Tor, and we spent time in the green room, and he showed me pictures of all the people that had came to. What did you say it was called?
Fat Tuesday. Yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
he was showing me
everybody. Yeah,
Michael
Jordan.
Jordan,
We used
Shaq.
to host the ESPN awards down there. The
Yeah.
ESPY awards, I mean. Like, they would come here for Fat Tuesday.
He was showing me
That was
like
my most
fucking
exciting
physical
night.
pictures. It was like super.
God, if I met Jordan, dude, that's one of the
Yeah,
that's one of the
pictures
ones
of
right
Jordan,
there.
Magic Johnson, they were always here.
I mean, not so much Magic Johnson, but
I love Magic. I'm a
Well, you like
Magic
Boon.
girl. I'm a
I'm
Larry
sure you
Bird
did.
kid, so.
I'm sure you did back in the day. Everybody did.
Hey man, he's got good AIDS, so fuck it. He's
You're
got the
doing
good
something
one.
right. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got money.
He's
Yeah.
doing something right.
As Mooney says, he's got financial AIDS.
He's,
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
He's the opposite of Arthur Ashe, that guy. Like tennis money just doesn't save your life. NBA money, that'll save your dick. You know what I mean? That's apparently what we've
Is
learned
Greg
there.
Louganis still alive?
Yes.
Who cares, bro? Diving, you know what I mean?
It's a
Like,
different kind of concept.
maybe.
For Boon, we'll get Boon on it. I remember when they had the ESPYs downstairs, McNabb, he was playing for the Eagles, was down there, and everybody was like, yo, McNabb, this girl's from South Philly. So we started talking, and he was like, you're really from South Philly? And I told him what neighborhood I'm from, and he's like, oh yeah, we visit them. I'm like, yeah, we're the inner city kids. You know what I mean? Because they're
I donated a bunch of clothes to your shitty
We're
neighborhood.
like, oh, we'll go here. These kids aren't that fucking bad. Fuck you.
Yeah, right. I donated a bunch of
McNabb, I'll punch
jackets
him
and
right in the
hats to
throat.
your fucking retarded neighborhood of a bunch of dumb fucks.
We probably beat him up when he came in.
You're trying
But you know what? He got mad at me because I'm a big Rams fan, and he was sitting with Torrey Holt. And when I asked if I could meet Torrey Holt, he stopped talking to me. He was like, fuck you. He got all nasty with me. I was like, hey, man, if you were more athletic.
You know, Torrey Holt has one finger that points like that direction.
He fucked one of the waitresses here.
Which one was it?
I'm not telling you. She
Oh.
likes black guys.
Is she holding a microphone with her right hand right now?
I wish. I would have done it.
Does it start with a K?
Torrey,
No,
yeah,
I can't do it. Are you kidding? I can't.
Torrey Holt could finger you like this. He can point it at you. He has one finger that's like literally
You know-
going that way.
You know who else has a finger like that? Denzel Washington.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a fact. You guys can look it up on the internet.
I've met him a million times. Does he really?
He really does. There's
He used to
tons
come
of
here a
pictures
lot.
of just Google Denzel Washington pinky, and this pinky just has no flesh to it whatsoever, so it just dangles. So in movies and shit, they have to put a little popsicle stick on the end. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's when you know you're a good actor. When they're like,
Yeah.
look, you guys are both even. We're gonna go with the guy that we need to put a popsicle stick in every fucking scene in his goddamn finger.
Hey, what's that chick from Transformers, the first
Oh,
one?
Megan Fox.
You ever seen her thumb?
Yeah, her fingers look like thumbs.
No, but her thumbs especially. They look
Her
like
thumbs look like baby dicks.
talons.
Talons,
Yeah, baby dicks with
Wait,
fucking
baby
sharp
boy.
thumbnails.
Yeah, but you'd still fuck.
Yeah, for real. It'd be a weird hand job, but I'd fuck her as long as her pussy doesn't have a fucking toenail.
What if her pussy had like a thumb coming out of it? Would you still do it?
What?
If her pussy had like a thumb coming out of it?
Absolutely not. Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
pee, but I'm gonna keep the
couldn't
mic
even
while
say
I
no.
pee, just in case anything interesting happens.
Where's he going?
I'm peeing, but everybody be cool. I will keep you posted while I
Is
pee.
it gonna be a frothy piss?
Well, I'll let you know in a
Let's see if
minute.
we can adjust the microphone.
So far, no.
Nice. Are you really turning it up?
Yeah, of course I'm turning it up. Why?
This is why this show's
Why
awesome,
would you
because
turn it off?
he's peeing and commentating it, but no one's left. That's great.
Dude, this is
Oh.
podcast gold.
It's the best show ever.
This is podcast yellow.
So I have this guy that I just got a new phone number, and the person that had my phone number works for Little Debbie, and it sucks because he not only gets like nonstop phone calls from people that owe him money, like child
Oh,
support.
that shouldn't be bleeding that much. God, there's so much blood.
I mean, and it sucks because it sucks because like his family, like everyone does not know where he is, and so I have to constantly like talk to at least 2 or 3 people every day. Like, hey, this guy does not have this phone anymore. I don't know where he is. I don't know why he's not paying child support. I don't know why. But one of the cutest things is all his friends like that are calling and leaving voicemails like hang in there. I heard you're low on cash, but here's the latest one, which is kind of see if you guys can hear this.
See if you need a tampon?
I shouldn't be this busy.
So now the guy's like hopes like he's wishing him good luck because now there's no more Twinkies, the hostess competition, and so, because he works with Little Debbie, and I guess now things are looking better for Daniel because hostess has gone out of business.
I hope you're doing better because no more Twinkies.
Yeah.
I had my first
That's the
experience.
best voicemail ever, and you got it. You have it forever.
I had my first experience the other night of like missing Hostess products.
Really?
Like at like 2:30 in the morning, like I was at 7-Eleven, like going home, and I'm like, I got like a big gulp kind of situation, and like, like the 99-cent Cool Ranch Doritos, like just shitty food you're gonna eat before you go to bed. And I'm like, ho, Twinkie, cupcake, something in that mix. And I go to the fucking aisle where that would be, and it's all just like generic 7-Eleven versions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is that? Oh, fuck, that's right. They were serious about this. It's really all gone.
Somebody bought it?
Yeah, someone bought them there, and they're.
Well, 7-Eleven's taking a real shot at the title because they got a lot of knockoffs.
What are the knockoffs called?
They're called No-Nos, Kinkies, which they're all hard and silicone-based.
Kinkies, yeah.
Kinkies, you can't even bite into them, but you can put them in your ass.
You gotta
And
switch to Tasty Cakes and real shit.
what's Tasty Cake? Some sort of
That's the thing in
Philadelphia
Philly,
fucking...
yeah. And
it's got-
it was about to go under, kind of like Hostess, but our black mayor was like, hell no, I have diabetes and need that shit. And so they bought into it. Everybody just started pouring money into it. Now it's bad.
Which is why in
Tasty
Los
Cake.
Angeles, it's just all just taco
everybody's
stands
overweight, it's
everywhere.
awesome. What?
We don't have a black mayor, is my point.
You gotta get your shit together. Get your shit together.
Listen, metropolises, metropoli, get a goddamn black mayor. Boom,
What?
you're running for mayor of Los Angeles.
Boon, are you mixed?
What's your platform?
You're right.
Tony Hinchcliffe, you're co-mayor.
What?
You're gonna be like assistant mayor / mayor.
Oh yeah, I'd love
You look
that.
just like Andy.
Like if anybody assassinates
Boon,
him.
are you mixed? What nationality?
Yes, I am mixed.
Like
with,
some
with,
Indian
with
or
3
some weird shit?
nationalities.
Like what else?
I'm mixed with Negro, African American, colored.
Hold on.
When
Negro
9/11
and
gets
African
here,
American are
I'm
separate?
African American.
So you're Negro,
African
African American, and colored.
And when 9/11 gets
All
here,
the 3 things that black people hate that we call them. I'm part nigger, part colored, part.
and you know why basketball players have such big knees?
Oh boy.
Here comes a shitty punchline.
Because they're Negroes.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that when I was in 7th grade. That sounds
You
about
just
right.
made me think of a new bowl. Awesome.
You're like a real comedian.
Paul's got it for the NBA.
Why do you stop
now.
chewing on your fingernails after you pick your boogers?
Oh boy.
So this booger thing's really.
really bothers you.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
really,
we-
Bothers
he
him.
really commits
He's talked to
it.
me about it a lot.
He commits to it.
We're
Shits under trees, hates boogers.
Yeah.
That would be the meme.
That's his Match.com
And why
profile.
come you, and another thing, why is it everybody else, those
Show
other guys,
the trees, but I
show
don't
their
like
dick the way they
boogers.
show their dick? How come you want to show yours the way they do it? You ain't wrong.
Boon, you want to see my
What does
cup?
that mean?
I have a special feeling Eleanor's got the biggest dick at this table, and I'm not hurting in the dick department.
Well, all women have balls.
Okay.
They're eyeballs. But
Okay.
Oh.
I'm starting to agree with Tony after that.
Yeah,
joke.
I bet.
Redban, when's the last time, and if there's anybody at this panel, and I would love to hear Eleanor's answer second.
Oh boy.
When's the last time you shit in public like I have an emergency situation? Mine involves cocaine. What's yours?
You mean just like going to a restaurant or
Like
something?
Boon taking a shit outside of an apple orchard or wherever the
By the
fucking
way,
Tony saw him.
where I saw him at Fountain and Fairfax. It wasn't some like fucking well-hidden area. It was in a front yard at
Bro, neither
Fountain
was
and
mine,
Fairfax.
bro.
if you saw me taking
Tony.
a shit, I saw you improvise the sucking a dick.
Yeah,
I
you did
thought-
see
Yeah, a
me
lot of people
improvising.
saw him
That was
improvising sucking a
me
dick.
and my old friend's handshake to each other. We
Tony, I
would
think
fake
that
suck
tree
each other
died.
off.
Cool. I know where that tree is, and that's dead. It's probably
It's true. It's true.
fertilized.
Red Band.
Let it go
You're
down.
just lying because you said you saw a shopping cart. There was no shopping cart in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
It had a
Parking
fucking
next to the
railroad
bus
in it.
stop. There's a bus bench just south of Fountain on the west side of Fairfax.
You're just
Boon,
hallucinating.
I've seen you with the cart. You
Yeah.
had a throw rug in it and a diaper on. I don't know what the fuck.
And by the
see.
way, I love how I tell you that you push the shopping cart and shit underneath a tree, and the only part you're denying is the fucking shopping cart.
Yeah, shopping cart.
Yeah. Wait, so you did shit under the tree?
I got no problem with him. Anybody shitting under a tree.
Hey, I've
It's
only
a human condition. Last time you shit under a tree, I shit off a boat once.
Hold on, let's go
Yeah,
back.
I've done shit off a boat.
Shit
No
once.
problem.
Pontoon
Wait,
boat.
you-
It was awesome. Twice.
You're always looking
Outside?
at me and hallucinating your imagination.
Dude, I've only lived here 10 months. I've seen you twice with a shopping cart.
Well,
Swear to
yeah,
God.
because I'm going to do it tomorrow. But I'm not going to do it anymore because there's a law against having them things to do what I be doing.
Stealing.
What have you been doing besides shitting on a
Look
tree?
at the whole cart. It takes
Well,
a
you're not
shit.
supposed to have a shopping cart in your unless the owner tells you to have
I
it.
will give Boone this much credit. I did not see poop come out of his butt. However, he did pull his pants down and squat.
Oh,
So the only
it's
thing
not-
worse than pooping under the tree is if he sits down to pee underneath the tree. So it's really a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, you're fucked
Well,
up
I
with
also
shit,
saw
dude.
you improvising, giving an act of a
We
blowjob.
already talked about
Dude,
this.
if you had a shopping cart with a toilet bowl in it, that would be awesome.
Awesome. They should make those.
That's a good thing.
When I push a stroller now, because you're not supposed to have a shopping cart, it's against the law. They call them.
Is that why you have a stroller?
The California Business and
You
Professional-
thinking outside
If
of the
you
box,
shop- If
motherfucker.
you push the shopping cart out there, the cops will stop you and issue you a citation.
So you have a baby stroller with a bunch of stolen library books in it.
Yeah.
Have you at least
I got
upgraded
things now for sale. Want to see?
What's he got?
I'm a little
Things
scared.
for
I'm
sale.
not gonna lie.
things for sale?
Bunch
Oh.
of dirty stuff that was in a dumpster earlier, everybody. And I'm not kidding. If you
don't know
touch
where
it,
it come from. Come from your
Did
mom.
you see him wipe at least, Tony?
Wait, is he going to get his products?
that's really
Dude, this guy doesn't miss an
Redban,
opportunity.
last time you shit in public.
Yeah, let's.
You know what? I haven't shit in public unless I was camping, so I've probably shit in public.
So you've never been like drunk or been like,
You know what? I have a really good digestive
So
system.
do I.
Wake up, I shit
I only have 2 times
like
in my life.
4 times.
And one of
then
them
it's
was
good.
about 14 minutes ago.
Yes or no? Customers? Here's a
Customers.
dictionary for $1.
They ain't your
Oh
customer.
yeah, there's a computer dictionary.
Hey, Boone, if you
I've
want to
never
get
seen
into
a
a good
computer.
business, steal some used college books.
Why use the dictionary that's on your computer when you could just read a computer dictionary book?
Gary Cooper?
Gary Cooper.
Now I would say this. You had all these old movies and you told me they were all a bust.
Gary Cooper, or as I like to be called,
I
under
tell
the
you
tree
what, I make a
Cooper.
deal. 2 for $1.
I think Boone's the best
Burns
thief
and
ever.
Allen?
Everything I've ever heard him that he
What?
has to sell that he's stolen
Jack
is
Big
stuff that
always
people
be
won't
39.
recognize that they're
You
missing.
don't need to get that close
There
to my
are, there
face.
have been some
Bob
things.
Hope?
I've actually had really good friends that have been fooled to buy a broken computer to show their cock to him. So you could be convinced.
Cary Grant?
What is this part of this show right now?
Rick
We-
McMurray?
This needs to stop.
And
This is where
This is
stop.
where we
Just
just
offers
But-
up garbage.
All right.
Well,
Good.
$4. Here's a beautiful picture
Ben.
All
frame.
right.
Okay, that's.
Do that. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're
Sweet.
doing this shit in public? What are we doing?
And I don't know who this is. Who is this?
All right, Boon.
That's someone's
Dude,
grand-
your hand doesn't need to be that
That's
close to my
someone's
face.
daughter, bro.
That's what I looked like when I started here.
Who is this picture I stole from somebody?
Actually, that's pretty not that bad.
That's not bad.
That's
But
not bad.
Is
but
it worth
there is-
$1?
That hang in your apartment is a conversation piece.
there is some weird things on this glass,
Like
though.
semen?
Of course, it's somebody else's cocaine, whoever you stole that off of, who died from a coke overdose.
That's kind of cool, but
It's $1.
that's
She's
a dollar.
Norman, that's pretty relevant.
That's see what he did to you? He hooked you.
I don't know. I can't
Bro,
tell if I
tell
like
me.
Yeah,
this
you were
or
about to
not.
cut
Let me
the
see.
segment,
What
and now you're like
O.J.
whacking
Simpson's
off
last
to.
word.
Can you tell if that's real? That's not real, is it?
Let me
What?
see.
Do you think that's real or fake? That's
What's
a
that?
drawing or a photo?
That looks like a magazine picture that someone fucking.
No, that's a photo with like a Photoshop filter kind of a thing.
Here's an art.
The good news is the two of you now have hands herpes.
That's the least of my concerns.
Who wants to know about a strange world and fantastic places?
All right, I think we're done
Natural
with.
disasters.
Come on, man.
I think you've pretty much ridden us right into the sunset, Boon.
Or did anybody?
All right, so this is going to be my first time shitting
A
in
pet
public.
carrier?
I am going to shit on Boon.
All right, everybody.
All right.
I asked about it, and it's about to go down.
Does anybody need a pet carrier?
I don't even know what that means, but he is working on.
I'm gonna stay
Actually
here because
shitting on you.
I want to be this close to history.
I think you have a little turd on you now.
Tony, you have 2 more weeks left, right?
Yeah.
Why is
Yep.
Boon still
2 more weeks left, and then I'm
Of the burn?
hanging out
That's
with
all
you more.
from it.
And then you get
Gonna
your
try
life
to
back.
gonna try to get to a
I was hanging
higher
out with
level of
Tiana the
friendship.
other day, and she's like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's
She
crazy.
can't take it anymore.
It's ridiculous.
All right, people don't get how hard it is to work on a fucking live
And we're
TV show
trying
like
to do
that.
everything else at 1,000 miles an hour still too.
Yeah,
so it's
because-
like we didn't even slow down on stand up, so we're doing both. So it's 12-hour days and then trying to catch up afterwards. So it's
Yeah.
pretty nuts.
Let's
It's like
talk
the
about this.
opposite of
Better
Boon's
than
life.
sleeping all day, right?
I-
You fucking working.
Yeah, well, I
Killing it.
never
But you always
really
want
was
what you don't have. Like if
Yeah, I guess
if
you're
you
right.
have time off and you're sleeping all the time, you're like, God, I wish I was working.
Yeah, that's
And when
how
you're
I felt
working, you're like,
today.
God, I miss when I was just sleeping all the time.
Wow. And we're never
So
When you have a
satisfied.
girlfriend, you're like, I wish I was just beating off and no one was busting my balls.
I think if I could go back, I would definitely go back to laying on the couch and playing video games and having a relationship and just watching TV and just. fucking-
But
So
dude, I knew you then. That's when you were fat and miserable
Yeah.
and you didn't give a fuck.
shit
And now that I
causes
know you, you're
It
like,
just- it
everything's
seems
awesome.
amazing. It
You
seems
just call him
amazing.
fat and miserable?
He was.
I am fat.
No. Back then, dude, you were fucking.
Wait, I'm not fat
I
and miserable right
apologize.
now.
No, not at all.
All right.
I don't-
You're just
do that.
miserable.
I
I
don't-
can't
You're
even
just
sit
miserable.
up straight.
I never see weight. I only see color. So
Hey, you know
never-
what I was wondering this whole time?
So you notice he's
You're
white.
racist.
What do you got, a cat in
Thanks
the
a lot,
box?
guys.
What's
Oh god.
What happened?
We
Oh,
ended
he's
this.
back? What the
Anybody want that $1?
All right.
Boone selling shit is such a bad segment. It should be on Whitney's "Love You Mean It."
Maybe
on
we
YouTube.
Oh.
Is she in the room?
Why are you
Yes.
shitting on her? Leave her
Don't
alone.
use your
Shitting on her. I'm
Dude.
shitting on the show. Have you seen that pile of garbage?
Well, you know,
I did. Tripoli killed it on that.
she's beautiful.
Oh,
by the
I
way.
didn't. Well, other than the episode
You know
of
what? When you
Tripoli's.
have money, it is.
I actually, dude,
it
she
is
looks
so expensive
so
to look like
attractive.
that. She's beautiful,
Okay.
but she always was.
But I never was attracted to her.
I know.
Because she was broke and like she's wearing
She
a
was
fucking
never broke.
hoodie.
She was just normal.
Bullshit. She was a broke.
Dude, she was never broke.
Sat in the fucking parking lot with her
How long
crying
ago are you
over
talking
my
about?
AAA. 7 years ago.
Okay, yeah, 7 years ago she was broke. Yeah, 7 years ago she was broke.
Who, Whitney?
Oh, what
7
the
years
fuck
ago
is
she was
going
where
on?
we all are.
But that's
What
I'm
the
saying.
fuck is going on?
It's got
Two
Gary
shows going
Cooper
on.
and fucking Madonna. What? Who did you run?
Who wants a
That was
Chewbacca poster from
Fuck.
McDonald's?
Where the fuck are you stealing stuff from? It?
Dumpsters.
Oh, that the
It's
return
not a
of
joke.
the
It's a fact.
But I will say this, like like
That's a nice bag.
two things. One, she's attractive.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, so I was up because Tripoli did our Punch Up show, and he's like, I just did
Killed
Whitney's
it.
show.
And Dana Gould killed it on her show.
Yeah, it was
They-
Dana
they
Gould
were
too.
great.
And he's like, I'm telling you this right now, Whitney is hot. And me and Ari are like, I don't know. I just watched it the other day, and I was like, God.
No,
and
she's
I thought I had lunch with Tripoli today with Ari, and I walked up to him. I go, I owe you an apology. You were right, and I shook his hand, and I go, Whitney is
Yeah.
looking hot.
But it is expensive to look like that. Look,
Well,
like,
that's
I
the
look
thing.
like
You
this,
have
I
enough
can afford
money to be
fucking
like,
some
I
shit.
want people to shop for me.
Yeah.
I want people to fucking do things to my face that makes it look like it doesn't look. Or whatever that
Who
is.
is she fucking right now? The lawyer?
Who's in the comic books?
What was that?
Hey, Boon, please go away.
Oh, okay. Whoever it is somebody that's just rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Because when you blow up like that, you don't
He's
go
a
like
great
you don't
guy,
backtrack.
actually.
Oh, you know who it is?
Yes, he's a good guy.
I'm fine with that. Of course, he's a
Comedian?
good guy.
No, he's a director.
Oh,
He's
director.
amazing, actually. Very talented.
See, that's fine.
What's he
I'm fine with that.
directed?
And an
His
actor.
name rhymes with Squintin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
Like,
That man actually just shit his pants for the
hilarious.
first time in public, right
that would
there.
be the name that you would say that the dudes would actually be jealous that she's fucking him, right? That's what everyone did.
I mean, you could do that. Yeah, but either which way, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't want to take a shot
God,
at
he's
her.
bringing more shipping.
She's looking great. Stop.
Oh, it's a
It's a gift. Give me $5.
That's not how
Mystery
it's
bag.
present.
Yo, it's
charge
Yeah, the
a
outside of the
present.
bag.
It seems like the mystery.
I
bag
love
is
you.
$5.
I love what you do for me. And then he walks up, hands me the bag. First of all, that's a Toyota bag. And he hands it to me and says, "This is for you. Give me $5."
There's a human head in there.
Actually, wow.
This
wow.
is that's
You
Gwyneth
might have
Paltrow's
actually
head.
made this
Shit,
happen.
he took. He put it in the bag.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that might happen for $5. No shit.
That's how good Boon
If
is.
he's fit me,
Found outside of a car accident.
as long as there's not a foot in it, I'm fine.
There's a severed foot inside.
If he's
I
fit
tell
me.
you what.
Did they come
Oh,
out
don't put your
shoelaces?
All right, that's the end of the show, guys.
Jesus.
Wow, that's
Steve.
a, this one didn't have a foot in it.
I can't take this
If the
anymore.
shoe fits.
Eleanor, what's going on with you? You got this new Vegas show going
Oh
on.
yeah, the
and-
Hard Rock. The Hard Rock.
The Hard Rock, the vinyl.
Cafe. What is it? The vinyl. Yeah.
Vinyl.
that's the name of it.
And when's that start?
We start
That's gonna
March.
happen.
We start March
You talk to
14th. With me and Dice, or Dice and me. rather.
Love, yeah.
He's gonna be the guy they come
If
to
it
see.
don't fit, don't
That's
order.
cool.
If you
So
can't make it,
vinyl,
don't
and you
make
can check that out. You can go to Hard Rock Cafe.
Hard Rock's website or
Website.
Andrew Dice Play's website.
That's gonna be sweet. That's a
Yeah.
sweet place. Like
2 weeks out of every month in Vegas starting. in
That's
March.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's cool. Billy, you are about to film or record a new CD
Yes.
in San Diego.
I'm recording a CD in San Diego at the American Comedy Company on January 30th at 8 p.m.
Are tickets free?
For Death Squad people there.
All right, that sounds
There
good.
you go.
And check out
I'm
the
a better
American Comedy Company.
businessman than Boon.
Tony Hinchcliffe, I apologize. I did not, would not have done this to you.
I'm happy to be here.
And,
Thanks for having me.
And I want you to know I love you more than Boon.
Oh, thanks,
By a
Brian.
lot, you know, that's ridiculous.
Tony, I'm
And,
gonna
nice
say
of you.
something as well.
Yeah.
I would have.
I don't know if that's ridiculous. I love both of those people.
Hold on, I would have rather had Bobby Lee. I gotta be honest.
Yo, the motherfuckers got shirts.
Not me. I'd rather have Tony than Bobby Lee. I'd rather have Tony than Bobby Lee.
No, I meant.
I like Tony more than I like Bobby Lee, and I'll publicly say that.
Wow.
Wow.
But so,
See, I
I
wouldn't
thought
say that.
you like Boon.
But I also like Boon more than I like Bobby Lee publicly.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I was just gonna say, you're just saying that
You're done.
But they're jealous.
Maybe.
maybe I'm
Tony is
jealous.
jealous.
But Tony, the Burn every Tuesday night.
At Tuesdays at 10:30.
Or
We're now one of the
Comedy
most
Central.
watched shows
Love
on
it.
Comedy Central.
Oh shit.
Columbus, Ohio, the 22nd of February. Pittsburgh, the 23rd. And
Nice.
San Diego, I'm coming back March 1st and 2nd with Curb Your Enthusiasm's Jeff Garland.
Very
Sweet.
cool.
See you then, guys. And follow me on
Yeah.
Twitter at Tony Hinchcliffe. That's Tony H+Inch, Cliff plus C. You got it. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, wait. You're not gonna give Boon any plugs?
Hey,
we've
follow
done
Boon
enough
on
of that.
Twitter.
You can
Come
follow
to the
Boon
Comedy
and
Store.
his shopping cart down Santa Monica Boulevard.
It's actually a baby carriage.
Fairfax and
No, I
Fountain,
think-
big
no,
shit.
they'll give you a ticket. I'm fucking with you.
And we got Thibault, the Teeb on Twitter.
At the Teeb on Twitter, early
Yes.
April, I'll be doing the same show as Tony just did with Ari Shaffir. I believe right now it's Ari Shaffir and I, April, I think 12th and 13th, is that right? 13th, 14th? 12th and 13th will be in Columbus, Ohio, then we'll be in Pittsburgh. And it doesn't matter, I'll be at the La Jolla Comedy Store tomorrow, but by the time this airs, I'll already be dead. So you guys, thank you. Next week we have an awesome show. I believe we have Duncan Trussell, Jimmy Schubert,
Woo!
and
But it's a secret, so thanks for running the secret.
No, trust me, they'll all cancel. They'll all
Alright,
cancel.
guys, thank you very much. And stick around for the King Kong show right after this.